When you look at a brand new skyscraper or this massive bridge or a giant stadium, what do you really see? You see the steel, the glass, the concrete, right? But there's this invisible foundation holding it all together that you can't see. It's a constant, critical flow of information.
Think about it. Every single construction project is kind of like a 1,000-piece puzzle, except the pieces are always moving. You've got materials, you've got timelines, budgets, regulations, and literally hundreds of people who all have to be perfectly in sync. And the stakes? They are incredibly high. One missing piece, one tiny miscommunication, and the whole thing could, well, come crashing down.
So the big question is, how do project managers and engineers keep this complicated dance from just becoming total chaos? Well, there's a secret weapon, an unsung hero working behind the scenes. It's the secret blueprint that holds it all together.
And that hero is something called technical reporting. Now, I know what you're thinking. It doesn't exactly sound glamorous, does it? But trust me, it is the single most important tool that makes sure a project gets built right, on time, and on budget. So let's pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works.
Okay, so what is it really? At its core, a technical report is just a formal way of communicating. It's all about taking really dense technical info, the nitty-gritty details about progress or results, and translating it for a specific audience. The goal is simple. Make the complicated stuff easy to understand so the right people can make the right decisions.
So what's its job? Well, it documents pretty much everything. It tracks progress against the plan, and it gives the people in charge the hard data they need to make smart calls. And maybe most importantly, it creates this crystal clear chain of accountability, so everybody knows exactly who is responsible for what. No pointing fingers.
All right, so if you were to actually crack one of these reports open, what would you find inside? I know they can look super intimidating, but they all follow a surprisingly logical, consistent structure.
The best way to think about it is like any good story. You've got the beginning, that's the preliminary info that sets the stage. You've got the middle, that's the body, where the main story unfolds with all the data and analysis. And then you have the end, the supporting evidence, things like references and appendices that backs it all up.
Now, the body of the report, that's really where the action is. It's the heart of the whole thing. It lays out what the problem was, explains how they investigated it, shows you the raw results, and then, this is the key part, it tells you what it all means. It's the engine that turns raw data into a clear path forward.
Okay, so we've talked about the structure. Let's move from theory to the real world. How do these reports actually work on a busy, noisy, and, let's be honest, often very muddy construction site? This is the really crucial part. Technical reports are basically the central nervous system of project management. They make sure everyone's working from the same playbook, they track progress against goals, and, this is so important, they let managers spot potential risks and safety issues before they blow up into major problems. It's all about being proactive, not reactive.
And this reporting happens at different rhythms. You've got things like daily reports, which are like a quick pulse check on the project's health. And then you have the bigger weekly or monthly reports, which are more like a full, comprehensive checkup, giving you that bigger picture view of progress and where the money's going.
And beyond those regular checkups, you have specialized reports. So, if there's a safety incident or a quality control problem or some unexpected delay, a specific deep dive report gets created to analyze just that one thing. It's like having a specialist on call for any problem that pops up.
Of course, we're not just talking about people with clipboards and paper anymore. I mean, this is the 21st century. Technology has completely, and I mean completely, revolutionized this entire process.
The move to digital has been an absolute game changer. What used to be this slow, manual process that was just begging for human error is now becoming instant, data-rich, and super collaborative. It's all thanks to modern software and mobile apps.
So what does that digital advantage actually look like? Well, picture a site manager out in the field, typing data into a tablet. That information is now instantly available to an executive 1,000 miles away. Not in some 50-page document, but on an interactive dashboard they can play with. This kind of workflow makes everything faster, smarter, and way more efficient.
Okay, let's bring this all home. Why does any of this matter so much? Because getting reporting right isn't just about good paperwork. It is the absolute foundation of a successful project.
And the difference between good and bad reporting, it's like night and day. Seriously, good reporting, that leads to clarity, accuracy, and projects that run like a well-oiled machine. Bad reporting, that's a one-way ticket to confusion, expensive mistakes, delays, and sometimes even serious legal trouble. This isn't about being tidy,
It's literally the line between success and failure.
And that kind of brings us to our final thought here. These principles we've been talking about, clear, structured, accountable communication, they're universal. They are the blueprint for building anything complex, not just a skyscraper. So it makes you wonder, what about the complex projects in your own life or in your work? How could this kind of disciplined communication completely change the outcome? It's a powerful question to think about.